Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Francis Entertainment Center. Next stories actually are called Grandma's Kisses and Squidville. Enjoy the video. SpongeBob visits his grandmother's house where he indulges in several childish activities such as eating cookies, licking the spoon, and listening to stories. As soon as the clock strikes 3 p.m., SpongeBob's grandma drives him to work. Once there, she kisses him goodbye, leaving a kissy mark on his forehead. Everyone at the Krusty Krab teases SpongeBob about this, and he runs home in tears. Back at home, Patrick tells SpongeBob that he should show his grandma that he is not a baby anymore, and that he should try to act more like an adult. The next day, they go to Grandma's house wearing sideburns. When Grandma answers the door and tries to kiss SpongeBob, he explains to her that he's an adult now and the kissing has to stop. Grandma offers him cookies, which Patrick gladly gobbles down. When SpongeBob gets mad at Patrick for being a hypocrite, he proclaims that being an adult is boring, that he enjoys acting like a baby. SpongeBob tries to eat a cookie, but Grandma gives him a piece of steamed coral instead. Grandma then reads Patrick a children's storybook about a magical sea leprechaun and gives SpongeBob a large book on routine active maintenance. She also gives Patrick a sweater with love in every stitch, while SpongeBob receives unwrapped office supplies. Soon, the clock strikes 3, and Grandma reminds SpongeBob that he has to go to work. As Grandma tucks Patrick in for a nap, SpongeBob says that his busy adult schedule will make it hard for him to visit. Grandma seems unconcerned with this, so SpongeBob leaves. But not before that. Growing up can be tough on SpongeBob, his manly sideburns falling away, stressed out for childhood and baby stuff with cookies, a baby bottle, a sweater, diapers, baby powder, a baby carriage, Mr. Stuffykins, a rocking seahorse, a lollipop, and a boo-boo. SpongeBob declares that he refuses to grow up and that he wants to be treated as a baby again and live like one. Then cries painfully, mocking with lawn sprinkler in the yard and hyperventilating over into a baby so intensely that he floods the house with his tears. Grandma calms him down, pulls a plug in the floor to drain out his tears. She tells SpongeBob that he does not have to be a baby to get her love. He can kiss his grandma and found his soft spot and still be an adult, because no matter how grown up he gets, she will always love him. Grandma gives him back his sideburns, hands him a cookie, and SpongeBob starts to feel a lot better. He asks her not to bring the whole debacle up to everyone at the Krusty Krab as they embrace. Nobody sees Squidward and the customers outside watching from the window. SpongeBob and Patrick receive new reef blowers in the mail and begin blowing and sucking things up with them. Eventually, they suck up Squidward's windows and door, as the remaining gaps are inexplicably non-existent, trapping him inside. Squidward tunnels his way out and demands they put his door and windows back. In SpongeBob and Patrick's attempt to do so, the reef blowers shoot them out with such force that Squidward's house is completely destroyed. As the debris falls, a furious Squidward tells them that this is the final straw and that he refuses to live next to them anymore. He mentions that he's going to move so far away that he will not be able to brag about it. He would rather tear out Brainstem, carry it into the middle of the nearest four-way intersection, and skip rope with it than go on a living where he was now. Just then, his TV lands amidst to the rubble and turns on, playing a commercial for Tentacle Acres, a private community created exclusively for folks as desperate to move as he is. Before he can hear the name of the place, Patrick changes the channel, but Squidward takes the remote from Patrick and learns of the name and where it is. Squidward arrives at the front gate, and after a short interview on the intercom where he confirms that he is neither a sponge nor a starfish, he is allowed to enter. Although he has a run-in and small confrontation with another local resident to his delight, Squidward finds that the residents all look, sound, and act similar to him, even living in houses identical to his prior home. Before Squidward can go to sleep, eager to start his new life, however, SpongeBob and Patrick call in an attempt to get him to come back, but Squidward refuses, saying that there is no possible way he's passing up the chance of being among his own kind. Squidward begins his first full day at Tentacle Acres by going biking. He finds that all the other residents are riding their bikes as well. He then goes grocery shopping and is impressed by the local food market, which even carries canned bread. He then sees an interpretive dance academy where he joins the group in synchronized interpretive dance. At the end of the day, he sees a clarinet playing trio performing in the park, which he makes a quartet by joining. Squidward's second full day at Tentacle Acres is just like the first, a fact he enjoys immensely. However, as more time goes by, each day exactly the same as the last, Squidward slowly loses enthusiasm for the endless routine. Finally, Squidward realizes that nobody in Tentacle Acres stands out and that his dream life is a complete loop. After some time, he leaves in the middle of another clarinet performance. While sitting on a park bench, lamenting his attainment of too much paradise, Squidward hears a reef blower. For a split second, he thinks it's SpongeBob, but then sees that it's only a park worker. The worker leaves the reef blower unattended, and Squidward is slowly tempted to start playing with it, irritating and scaring his neighbors out of their wits in the process. They eventually become fed up with his behavior and form an angry mob to chase him down. Meanwhile, SpongeBob and Patrick come to the Tentacle Acres to apologize to Squidward and convince him to return home. The surveillance guard tells them that their kind isn't welcome and refuses to open the gate for them. However, Patrick's bad breath from some fried oyster skins travels through the intercom into the security room, knocking the guards out and causing them to fall over onto the bomb that opens the gate. They enter the village and come across the angry mob cornering Squidward, but are unable to identify Squidward among the crowd of near-identical residents. The mob presents to Squidward a well-thought-out and organized list of complaints. Then Squidward makes a complaint himself about how everyone acts just like him in a single town. The police officer and the rest of the mob tell him that he doesn't have to live there, and Squidward wholeheartedly agrees. As SpongeBob and Patrick continue their search, Squidward uses the reef blower to launch himself out of the village, yelling, "Freedom!" SpongeBob notices Squidward and claims, "Well, we know one thing. It sure isn't that guy."